I was confident there was no indoctrination or affirmation program at the University of Idaho. And while I was confident of that, certain conflict entrepreneurs and those who earn their living by scaring people with such illusions have made these claims, which surfaced and were used to cut our budget last year.
That was University of Idaho President Scott Green, mincing no words in front of the Joint Finance and Appropriations Committee Friday morning. The committee, whose job it is to set budgets. The U of I budget, by the way, got cut $500,000 last year because of accusations of social justice indoctrination in Idaho's institutions of higher learning. Last week, school presidents were back at the State House asking for that money back, and then some. Governor Little proposed a 7.1% increase in higher education spending to $22.3 million, and it would be the largest increase since the mid-'80s. When last year's cut was allowed to go through, based on the belief the University of Idaho was, quote, indoctrinating students with social justice ideology, end quote, President Green, who is a third-generation vandal, didn't believe it. But he hired the law firm of Hawley Troxell this past summer to find out for sure. These accusations were based on a report put together by the Idaho Freedom Foundation. If there was indoctrination, if there were classes where people were shamed for or their beliefs or their ethnicity, President Green wanted to know about it. And after a thorough and independent investigation, their conclusion came last month, and they were unable to substantiate any of the allegations contained within the Idaho Freedom Foundation report. U of I's initiatives related to diversity and inclusion stem from independent factors and are not designed to indoctrinate anyone with social justice ideology, including students and university employees alike. Nor, Hawley Troxell said, did we identify any evidence suggesting such indoctrination has taken place. They put all that in this 26-page report that they released last month. Hawley Troxell also said they were unable to identify a single complaint from students, from faculty, or otherwise about indoctrination from the school's diversity and inclusion initiatives. Not one. Which is why President Green made it clear, in so many words, in front of JFAC, to correct the record. We spoke with him shortly after his remarks to the committee.
The fact that they couldn't substantiate a lot of the accusations being made, it was a bit of a relief, but it was also a bit disappointing because you realize that this was more political than it was real, and that this was a false narrative. I think Idaho citizens deserve better, and my guess is they're not going to forget about this for a long time.
Are you worried about these discussions this year when it comes to the budget?
I'm always worried, but my sense is that that legislators are growing tired here of all the infighting and the accusations, and particularly if they're false. I don't think legislators purposely take positions that they know are false. I think they're being fed information, and they should be angry at this point, too.
The Hawley Troxell report also included instances where the IFF report cherry-picked program descriptions. They left out parts of them, took them out of context to build the narrative they were trying to push. If the Hawley Troxell name sounds familiar, it's because they are the same firm Boise State hired last spring after they were accused of indoctrination within their university foundations courses. An investigation that also turned up nothing. The University of Idaho gets about a fourth of its $400 million budget from the state, so maybe $500,000 doesn't seem like much. But President Green wanted to make it clear this wasn't entirely about the money. What he wanted to make clear, and what he made very clear in so many words in front of JFAC, was about correcting the record against conflict entrepreneurs who make their living sowing fear and doubt with legislators and voters.